Okay guys, this is my lecture on size matters. Alright, again, like we talked about before, if the sun had a diameter of 1 meter, this would be the relative size of all the planets. Okay, so that works for planet size. Let's talk about distance. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a stroll through the solar system. Now, how do we stroll through the solar system and the cold, dark outer reaches of space? Well, easy. We take a Dodge Ram. First of all, we got a bumper sticker. That's a later lecture. We have to remember to do our math, and we'll take our faithful companion. Now, back here I have my cooler with wheels, and fun fact, do you realize that we figured out how to leave Earth, go to the moon, return safely from the moon, all before we figured out my cooler needed wheels? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hop on, and we're going to start with the sun there, and we're going to cruise through the solar system. Alright, are we ready? Are we ready, Ribby? Okay, we're starting with Mr. Sun, and then we're going to first stop, about 40 meters ahead, is Mercury. Let's go. Now, Mr. Sun and Mercury are relatively close. Okay? Only about 40 meters away on this scale. But on this scale, Mercury is approximately the size of a BB. Okay, next stop, Venus. Venus is another 30 meters from Mercury, or about 70 meters from Mr. Sun. On this scale, Venus is roughly the size of a ball bearing. Alrighty, next stop, our favorite planet, Earth. Earth on this scale is approximately 106 meters from Mr. Sun, or it is in real life what is called 1 astronomical unit. Okay? On this scale, Earth is roughly the size of a ball bearing. Earth and Venus are roughly the same size. On to Mars. Mars is about another 50 meters down the road. Mars is actually significantly smaller than the Earth, so on this scale it would be roughly the size of a BB. Okay, now things start to get real interesting and really spread out. Jupiter is a little over 1/3 of a mile down the road.
They say our solar system is centered round the sun.
Bet you didn't know there was so much nothing in the solar system.
But somewhere out in space, there's another shining face. You might see some night up in the sky. It's a planet, it's a galaxy girl. The solar system is from a future of Earth. She travels like a rocket with a comet team. There's never been a planet it hasn't seen. No, there's never been a planet it hasn't seen.
Wow, I hope nobody gets motion sickness from watching this video. What you think, Ribs? Alrighty, we're coming up on Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, and on this scale, Jupiter would be roughly the size of a softball. Jupiter is what is known as a gas giant.
Earth looked exciting, kinda green and inviting. shows off its rings. Uranus is built on a funny tilt, and Neptune is its twin. And Pluto, little Pluto, is the farthest planet from our sun.
I bet you didn't know there was so much dust in space, huh?
Is not alone in space. The universe has endless mystery. Some future
The most amazing part is, relative to the scale, the speed we're traveling is several times faster than the speed of light. Because for light to go from the sun to Jupiter is about 40 minutes. To go from the sun to the earth is about 8 minutes. And to go from the sun to Ribby, well, I don't know. Alright, we are coming up on Saturn. Saturn is by far and away the prettiest planet in the solar system. Not on that, because that's just an old pitchy machine ball, but to look at in the telescope is pretty. Okay, now things get really spread out, really, really fast.
somewhere out in space, there's another shining face. You might see
On this scale, we are almost 15 astronomical units, or 1 mile away from Mr. Sun.
is from a future of Earth. She travels like a rocket with her comet team, and there's never been a planet
The next planet coming up will be Uranus. Now, fun fact about Uranus. Uranus is a gas giant that orbits on its side. So, the Earth is tilted at 23.5 degrees relative to Mr. Sun. Uranus is almost tilted at 180 degrees relative to Mr. Sun, which means it spins on its side, so its day and night cycle would be half of a Uranus year. And a Uranus year is much, much longer than an Earth year because Uranus is much further away. What do you think, Ribby?
She didn't even dare to say hello. It's a bird.
Okay, we are coming up on the halfway point between Mr. Sun and the edge of the solar system, or Neptune. In real life, we have traveled 1 mile. In solar system land, we have traveled only 15 astronomical units. Wow, Ribs, what you thinking?
The universe has endless mystery.
I'm Space Dog. I can fly through space with my floppy ears. Oh wait, there's no air in space, there would be no floppy ears. Never mind. Wow, I hope you guys watching this don't get motion sickness very easily. I know Uranus has to be up there somewhere. Surely we're getting close to Uranus. What do I see?
Centered round the sun.
There it is. We're sneaking up on Uranus. I told you you should keep the blinds closed. On this scale, Uranus would be about the size of a pink. But don't be fooled by this scale. Uranus is actually a gas giant that has a ring around it and orbits on its side.
She's been to the sun. It's a lot of fun. It's a hot spot. It's a gas.
Here's the sad part. With our current technology, just to go from the Earth to Mars could take anywhere from 6 months to a couple years, depending on the relative positions of Earth and Mars. And the hard part about planning that trip is both planets are always moving. So when you leave Earth and head to Mars, you have to remember that Earth orbits the Sun in a little smaller circle than Mars does, so it will be further from Mars when you head back. That's why timing is everything on a mission to Mars. Wow. There was so much nothing in our solar system. Oh wait, I did. I did. There was so much nothing in our solar system. And just to give you a little more perspective, on this scale our solar system seems really empty and it seems like there's a lot of space between the planets. But compared to the scale of our galaxy and even the universe, our solar system is actually shoved in a teeny tiny little bitty space.
Some future astronaut may find out that what he thought a shooting star instead turned out to
You know, guys, I think we're getting close to Neptune. I can feel it. Now, Neptune is the furthest regular planet from the Sun. Neptune has a very elongated orbit. And on this scale, Neptune is relatively the size of a ping pong ball, or it's about the same size as Uranus. On this same scale, Pluto would be another 1.3 miles down the road, but I'm not going to make you drive that with me. And Proxima Centauri, the closest star to us that is 4.2 light years away, would be approximately 7,674 miles from this spot. Now, if I would have been thinking, I could have named Ribby Pluto and we could have had him run down the road, huh? Would you be a good Pluto? Nah, he looks like a Ribby. Besides, if we were going to name him after a planet, we'd name him Uranus, because he can be kind of a butthead.